November 7th, 2024. Sony launched the PlayStation 5 Pro for $699. No disc drive, no vertical stand, just the console and a controller. The internet lost its mind. $700 for a mid-generation upgrade? The PS4 Pro launched at $399, the same price as the base PS4. Now, Sony wanted almost double what the original PS5 cost. Social media exploded with reactions. $700 and no disc drive? There's just no way they thought this was okay. Even the vertical stand, something every base PS5 included, was now sold separately for $30. But here's the question nobody was asking. What exactly is Sony building into this thing that costs so much to make? Because the price isn't random. It reflects real engineering decisions that tell us where console gaming is heading. Let's open it up. The PS5 Pro uses a custom AMD chip built on TSMC's 4nm process, a significant jump from the original's 7nm. The GPU has 60 compute units compared to 36 in the base PS5. That's 67% more processing power, 3,840 stream processors versus 2,304. To put that in perspective, the PS5 Pro's GPU is comparable to AMD's RX 7800 XT desktop graphics card. That card alone costs around $500. Sony claims the Pro enables 45% faster rendering overall, with memory that's 28% faster too. The architecture is a hybrid, primarily RDNA 3, but Sony worked with AMD to incorporate ray tracing improvements from RDNA 4. Technology that wasn't available on PC graphics cards when the PS5 Pro launched. Mark Cerny, the lead architect, said Sony spurred this innovation. They collaborated with AMD to develop hardware that handles ray tracing 2 to 3 times faster than the base PS5. That custom work costs money. The biggest leap isn't raw power, it's PSSR. PlayStation Spectral Super Resolution. Sony's answer to NVIDIA's DLSS, and the first AI-powered upscaling technology built into a console. Games render at lower resolutions, maybe 1080p or 1440p. PSSR analyzes every frame pixel by pixel, using machine learning to reconstruct a sharp 4K image. The AI has been trained on PlayStation games to understand how textures, foliage, and lighting should look. Here's what's clever. Sony didn't add a separate AI chip. They modified the existing GPU's shader cores to handle neural network processing. New instructions were added specifically for machine learning calculations. The result is 300 TOPS of AI performance integrated into the graphics processor. PSSR uses about 250 megabytes of memory and takes 2 milliseconds to upscale 1080p to 4K, fast enough to run every frame without impacting performance. Developers can target 60 frames per second at 4K without the GPU doing all the heavy lifting. Render at lower resolution, let PSSR fill in the details. The AI improves over time. That's built into the $700. Inside the PS5 Pro, liquid metal sits directly on the processor. Sony's used this since the original PS5. It conducts heat far better than thermal paste, but it can migrate over time, creating dry spots that cause overheating. For the Pro, Sony machined grooves into the heatsink. These grooves keep the liquid metal distributed evenly across the chip surface. Shinya Tsuchida, the mechanical design lead, said the grooves provide more stable cooling over a longer period. The cooling system now contains more thermal management components than electronic components. Sony prioritized keeping this chip cool over adding more features. It's invisible engineering, but it's why the console runs quiet despite the power increase. The PS5 Pro ships without a disc drive. That's an extra $80. No vertical stand either, another $30. Want the full experience? $810. Sony's explanation. Not all players have discs, but the business reality. Sony is pushing toward an all-digital future. The disk drive adds manufacturing cost and complexity. By making it optional, Sony hits $699 while offering a complete console. The alternative, pricing a bundle at $800 from the start. The 2TB SSD is included though, more than double the original's 825 gigabytes. Wi-Fi 7 adds cost but future-proofs the console. Sony decided their target customer would accept paying separately for physical media. Sony's president Hiroki Totoki was direct. The PS5 Pro targets hardcore users who are willing to pay more for high performance. The PS4 Pro sold 14.5 million units, roughly 12% of total PS4 sales. Sony expects similar numbers here. They're not replacing the base PS5. They're serving a specific audience that wants consistent 4K at 60 frames per second, ray tracing without frame drops, and is willing to pay PC gaming prices for console convenience. For everyone else, the base PS5 remains capable. The Pro is optional, a premium tier. Add up what's inside. A custom 4nm chip with unreleased AMD technology, 67% more GPU power, AI upscaling hardware, 2TB storage, Wi-Fi 7, and precision-machined liquid metal cooling. Digital Foundry argued that building a PC with equivalent performance would cost more. That's probably true. Graphics cards at this level often exceed $700 alone. The controversy isn't about power. It's about whether console gaming should cost this much. The PS4 Pro was $399. The original PS5 was $499. Crossing $700 felt like Sony abandoning the traditional console value proposition. But 4nm fabrication is expensive. Custom AI hardware adds cost. Sony chose to build the best console rather than compromise for a lower price. The PS5 Pro reveals something important about gaming hardware's future. The biggest improvements now come from AI, not just raw silicon. PSSR is version 1. Sony's announced improvements based on AMD's FSR4 technology coming in 2026. The AI gets better through software updates on the same hardware. That's the real value proposition. You're not buying today's performance. You're buying a platform that improves over time. The $700 console without a disk drive seemed outrageous. But it might be the template for what's next. More processing power, AI-enhanced everything, digital delivery as default. Whether that future appeals to you determines whether the PS5 Pro makes sense.